Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack a pretty wild argument. It all kicks off with a super controversial take on crypto, and then it leads us to this really powerful idea about what true value actually is, in business and even in our lives.
So let's just jump right in with this quote. It's from Tom Simon, who's a former FBI agent and a financial crimes expert, and he does not mince words. This statement is, wow. It's pretty bold, and it really kicks off this whole debate about what crypto actually is. Or, what it isn't.
And that really gets to the core of the whole thing, right? What are we dealing with here? Is crypto this game-changing new currency, or is it something way more shaky, maybe even a house of cards?
So, according to Simon, the problem is twofold. First off, he says it's not a real currency. I mean, think about it. You're not really buying your morning coffee with it, are you? And second, he calls it an unregistered security. What does that mean? Basically, it's a gamble. It's not like buying a stock in a company you can research. It's just out there with none of the usual rules to protect investors.
So where does that lead? Well, his big conclusion is that the only thing keeping crypto's value up is new people putting new money in. It's like a big game of musical chairs. He's saying that the moment that new money dries up, the whole thing could just, poof, collapse, just like a house of cards.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. The hosts push back with a pretty great question. They say, hang on a second, what about the US dollar? Isn't that also valuable just because we all agree it is? It's all about perception, right?
And this timeline really spells it out. We started way back when trading corn for fish. Then we had money backed by actual gold. But since the 70s, we've been using what's called fiat currency. That's money that's only backed by, faith in the government. So when you look at it that way, maybe a digital currency that's based purely on perception isn't such a crazy leap after all. It's kind of the next step.
But, okay, let's be real. Even if it's the next step, crypto has some serious problems. I mean, the volatility is just insane, right? The price swings are huge, and you still can't really use it for everyday stuff. So for now, it's not really a stable investment. It's more of a high-stakes bet.
And, all that risk, all that volatility, that's what brings us to the next big idea in this discussion. It's about looking for security. The source material pivots to this alternative strategy, and they put it head-to-head with a regular old brokerage account.
So what is this alternative? It's something called Indexed Universal Life, or IUL for short. The big idea behind it is this catchy phrase, zero is the hero. What that means is, it's built to protect your money from market crashes. If the market tanks, your account doesn't lose value. You just get zero for that year, no losses. Now, the trade-off is that you don't get all the massive gains when the market soars. Your upside is capped, but you get that crucial downside protection.
All right, so let's look at how they set up this comparison. Imagine a 50-year-old person. They're going to put $500,000 into a normal brokerage account and the same amount into one of these IULs. The goal for both? To pull out $100,000 a year in retirement, and this whole thing is based on real, historical S&P 500 data.
Okay, so in the beginning, things go pretty much how you'd expect. By the time our investor hits 63, the regular brokerage account is looking great. It's grown to $1.1 million because it got all those direct market gains. Now, the IUL account, it's a bit behind, sitting at $900,000. But here's the key. The argument is that this isn't a race to get the biggest number early on. The real goal is to build an income stream that you can count on for the rest of your life, one that won't get wiped out by a market crash. And this is where the story takes a huge turn. Let's fast forward to age 80. After pulling out money every year and getting hit by a few market downturns, the simulation shows the brokerage account is empty. Gone. It's hit zero. But the IUL? Totally different outcome. Remember that zero is the hero rule? Because it never lost principal in the bad years, it's still paying out that $100,000, tax-free, every single year. And get this, there's still $1.5 million left in the account. It's built to last a lifetime.
So this whole comparison, a risky asset versus a secure one, it's about more than just money. It's actually the perfect setup for a much bigger idea, a whole philosophy about how you create real, lasting value in business.
And they explain this philosophy with something called the value ladder. The coffee example makes it super clear. So down at the very bottom, you've got coffee beans. They're a commodity, worth pennies a cup. But then you start climbing the ladder. You package it, you serve it in a diner, and then you create an entire experience around it, like Starbucks does. And suddenly, that same cup of coffee is worth $6. The value just explodes as you go up.
And that's the whole idea right there. The more you move away from just selling a basic thing and toward creating an experience, the higher the perceived value. And when people feel like they're getting an experience, the price tag becomes way less important.
But wait, there's actually one more step on the ladder, the very top. It's even bigger than an experience. It's about creating a transformation. We're talking about a genuine, lasting impact on someone's life that goes way beyond just the product. Think about it. It's the difference between selling an investment and providing someone with financial security for the rest of their life.
So, that's what it all comes down to. This final question. It doesn't matter if we're talking about crypto or retirement or your own business, where do you fall on that value ladder? Are you just selling a commodity, competing on price, or are you aiming higher, trying to create a genuine, meaningful transformation for people?